I'm not supposed to be filming. I'm such a rebel. I watched back my video that I made when I first arrived at this loony bin, fresh out of police custody, before they took my blood pressure. At the time I was unaware that my blood pressure was almost 200, which meant that my body was in hypertensive crisis. I was actually very close to death, 192 over 111. Ideal blood pressure is 120 over 80, but mine's usually about 100 over 70. My resting pulse was 111. Usually it's about 70. So my body was in crisis. I had been wrongly arrested and then subjected to isolation torture, lack of water. I actually drank water out of the toilet. Extreme stress. I was denied pain relief. I was denied all my medication. You've got to bear in mind that I went from taking 6+ tablets a day to absolutely nothing. I was locked in a cell on my own. And I was close to death. I watched the video back and it made me cry to see how much of a state I was in. And that was only like 5 days ago. So, hi Adrian, hi Boo, hi Claire, sorry about my sweaty skin. I had a little sleep and I just woke up. Hi Becky, hi Tony, hi Maha. Yeah, so basically I've nearly died twice in my life. The first time was over a year ago. I actually took a drug overdose. Basically, the love of my life dumped me because he couldn't cope with my bipolar. And I said to him, look, please, just give me a couple of days. I'll sleep in the spare room. And it gives me a chance to go to the council because at the time I didn't have any money. And he said, no, you leave tonight. And I remember I was crying. I said, please, I've got nowhere to go. And then his exact words were, then you fucking sleep in the street. That's what he said to me. So another ex-boyfriend picked me up and drove me back to my grandma's. Now, my gran did not want me there. I remember I was crying in the kitchen. You've got to bear in mind I was broken, okay? I was crying and my gran came up to me and she said, well, you're never going to find a man now because you're too old and you're too fat. And that was it. So I walked to the shop. I need to speak to you soon, Boo. Claire, I'm worried about you. We're going to have to sort you out with some security because as my best friend, you know, look, we need to... Claire, I'm going to finish this video. I'm going to be 5 minutes and then I'm going to call you. Hey, Sasha. So my gran told me I'd never find a man because I was too old and too fat. So I walked to the shop. I bought 2 litres of vodka. I walked around Abingdon buying paracetamol because you can't go into a chemist. What a thing to say to someone who's clearly heartbroken. You can't go into one chemist and buy like 100 paracetamol. They won't sell them to you. So I went and I bought like boxed paracetamol in all the chemists. There's actually quite a few chemists in Abingdon. And then I had all my meds because I'd only just picked up a month's supply of meds. So I had 36. I had about 90. I had about 9, but I'd taken, I probably had about 80 prescription medications, and then I had all my paracetamol. Nan's hand, be bitches, my nan isn't the nicest either. Yeah, so when I say I hate my nan, people say you shouldn't hate your nan. Yeah, well, because of my nan, but it's not her fault I took the overdose. It wasn't even my ex's fault. It was my fault. It was a stupid thing to do. Anyway, I went back to my room, and I just sat there putting pills in my mouth and drinking vodka straight. It took me a while to, I don't know, I didn't have a stopwatch, but I was vomiting. I was like gagging, but I hadn't eaten. So I was trying to put like 5 in my mouth, but in the end, I just did it one by one. So if you imagine swallowing about 120 pills, and that used up about a bottle of the vodka, and then I carried on. I was just drinking. Hey Trish, I'm just talking about when I tried to kill myself. It wasn't a cry for help because I didn't text or call anyone. I didn't even leave a note. I remember drinking. I remember there was like vomit in my mouth, but I just kept drinking vodka. And then I remember I started to feel like really lightheaded, and you know, it felt kind of nice. I remember getting into bed, and I wasn't crying, like I was numb. So, you know, I got into my bed, and I got like, because I was really cold from all the pills, all the vodka. I remember I got really snug, like really warm, and I remember like closing my eyes and I remember praying. I was like, please God, please just let me never wake up, you know, please. And then that was, you know, that I must have fallen asleep because I crashed. And then the next day I woke up. Ironically, I didn't actually have a headache because I'd taken so much painkillers. I shouldn't laugh about it, it's not funny. But I remember waking up and swearing. I remember sticking my finger up. I remember saying, you fucking bastard. Like, I was so angry, you know. I remember arguing with God. I remember saying, you know, I probably called him a cunt, called him an asshole bastard. Why the fuck am I alive? You know, I was so angry. Yeah, if you're angry, all the angry faces, try and understand. You know, I was angry that I was alive. You know, I wanted to be dead. All right, I'm sorry I swore at God, but, you know, I was angry with God. I'm sorry if that makes you angry, but this is life, you know. So anyway, then I got up, got myself a drink, and I didn't go to hospital. I didn't get my stomach pumped. I figured that, like, why the angry faces? Yeah, why the angry faces? Oh, maybe the angry faces because I was swearing at God. Yeah, you're damn right I was. I fucking took 120 pills, drank 2 liters of vodka, and I woke up. Of course I was angry with God. Anyway, the next day, right, I was still heartbroken, but I was numb, like proper numb. And then I remember, like, I started to get my fight back. I started to think, if I'm alive, like, I must be alive for a reason. And I don't think I'm special. Like, I believe everybody is special. Like, I don't think there's anything special about me. Like, anything that is good about me can be learned, okay? That's sickening. And why would you blame God because you're alive? You should be thankful that you're alive, not dead. Oh, Ashley, fuck off. That's sickening. Did you not hear what I'd said? I wanted to die. Did you not understand? I'll tell you what, just fucking remove yourself, right, whatever. At the time, Ashley didn't want to be alive. Yeah, Ashley doesn't understand. Ashley's probably had a nice, easy life and couldn't comprehend wanting to be dead. Okay, so anyway, so that day, tell them God has a good sense of humour. That day, I made a vow, I made a pledge to God. All right, I apologise, Ashley. I apologise to you. I apologise to God. All right, I said, God, I'm sorry I tried to kill myself. I'm genuinely sorry. And that day I made a promise to see this life through to the end. And, you know, since then I've been raped, I've been beaten, but never once did I say I'm going to kill myself. At one point when I was attacked, I was viciously attacked by 2 girls. They put me in hospital. I had 2 black eyes. My nose, it was like cracked. My cheekbone was cracked. It looked like I had broken ribs. I never thought I'm going to kill myself ever. So that, you know, that was my one and only suicide attempt. And I'm sorry that I swore at God, but you know what? God has forgiven me because God is all loving and all forgiving, okay? So if God can forgive me, then hopefully Ashley can. If she can't, you know what? I'll deal with it. Anyway, when When Joe and Kerry attacked me, you have been through a lot, but you have always come out fighting. Joanne Moriarty and Kerry Louise Mayhew beat me up. They stole £120 in cash. They stole my £800 phone, and they stole my bottle of rosé. The bottle of rosé is what hurt. When Joe was strangling me, she had her hands around my throat, and I remember I was shaking. I was going, I can't breathe. Like, I literally thought I was going to die. It flashed back to my suicide attempt, and I thought, this is it. They left me for dead, but I wasn't dead. When the police arrested me, took me to the station and put me in police custody for 40 hours, there were times when I thought I was going to die. You know, when I had no access to clean drinking water, when I was denied food, when I wasn't allowed to make a phone call, when they ignored my, when I had no company and I had nobody. But I used that time, I was accessing the Akashic records, but I thought I was going to die in police custody. And then they had to release me. They couldn't charge me because they had nothing to charge me for. So they brought me to a mental hospital. When the doctor took my blood pressure, it was 193 over 111. My pulse was 111. I started having a panic attack. I thought, this is it, I'm going to die. So I rang my mum and dad and I said, listen, please, listen. And like, they know when I say that, it means shut the fuck up. I said, listen, if I don't make it, promise me that this book will be written, finished. I told my mum in the quickest I could the key points of the book, and I said, I'm passing you the baton. If I don't make it, it's my dying wish that this book is written. It's my dying wish that people know how corrupt the police are. Okay, now that puts me in grave danger. Okay, as soon as this book comes out, I'm going into exile and no one's going to know where I am, apart from you, Claire. So, anyway, I nearly died. I nearly died, but I didn't. And the police want me dead. Of course they want me dead, because I'm about to expose a lot of them for all their failings and all their corruption. Who the bent coppers are. I know. So, gotta go. Take care, love. Thanks, Cameron Chapman. I always enjoy chatting to you. Listen, I'm gonna go because I need to see. I'd like to keep in touch. Yeah, I'm gonna keep in touch with a few close friends. I'm going to register myself as living in Switzerland. For tax purposes. It's 5% tax in Switzerland, and I'm going to buy a little villa in Greece where I'm going to live, but I'm going to travel a lot, but I won't be returning to the UK ever. It's too dangerous here. Too many people want me dead. You know, the day that I was arrested, I had 3 separate death threats. I've had to use bodyguards. I've had to pay people if I need to go to the post office. I've had to pay someone, you know, I regularly pay somebody who will remain unnamed £100 for a couple of hours just to accompany me and protect me, basically. So, as soon as this book is published, I'm gone, probably before. So, anyway, I nearly died. Please share this video, please share my message. If you want to chat, drop me a private message. And I love you. And, you know, I said to Mum, like, make sure you tell all my friends that even when they didn't believe in me, I still loved them. Because I was worried. I was worried that if I died, like, people would feel guilty that they hadn't treated me well, like people who doubted me, people who bullied me. I made Mum promise that she would tell everyone that I loved them no matter what, even Kerry, who beat me up. I made Mum promise, which she wouldn't do, that you know, that keep in touch. Love you, boo. Yeah, I love you, Claire. You're my best friend, you and Julie.